Men are not scared of successful women. They are just, in your
trying
word,
to avoid ant-infested firewood in their houses.
So which means if the woman is the one sustaining the man, she would not respect the woman.
In most cases, yes.
Aye.
How did our great-grandparents keep their successful wives in check? They made sure they had 4 or 5 of them. When I marry you, you know it's your duty to first respect me and then bring other wives for me. And I must not die, because if I die, you have to prove traditionally that you did not kill me. So your job is to make me happy. So between you and the other wives, you have a duty, I must be happy. So even while wives can quarrel, not where I am. I should not get excited because of your anger. I should not get pressured. You have a duty, I must be happy. You take turns in making me happy. And if I die, 5 of you must prove that you're not the cause of my death.
Welcome to the PowerCast, where we interact about life issues, navigating through the relationships between people, politics, and policies. My name is Solomon with an X, and I come with a little bit of sauce. So in this episode, we have something very interesting, and it is a topic that may sound controversial to some and interesting to others. It is within the Nigerian space and possibly across the world. Are men really scared of marrying successful women? The reason is simple. Statista has a research from 2018 that shows that over 72% of married women are not employed, partially successful, and 42% of unmarried women are successful and not married. So if you try to break down that statistics, it would give you a pointer to one thing. Within our space, it's common to see a lot of seemingly successful women not married. And we know that culturally and around the Nigerian space, it is the men that would go to propose marriage to women. So then, that's what has led us to this question. Are men scared of successful women? And you see, we have a very interesting, intelligent, very read, and very traveled guest. That's why we had to bring someone that would bring a fusion of culture, tradition, intellectualism, history, and reality to this question. So my guest is an interesting person, and I want him to introduce yourself. Please, can you introduce yourself, sir?
My name is China Ikwereman Acheru. I'm Nigeria's #1 vagabond.
Oh, so you see, just by the name, you'll be confused. What does he mean by vagabond? And his name too, you ask China. How does the Nigerian bear China? That's another story for another day. In the conversation, we're going to go into it. So first and foremost, I would want to ask, what are the metrics to define a successful woman in Nigeria, within the Nigerian space, before we now go into the question if it is a myth or a reality?
Well, it depends on who is asking and who is calculating the metrics. Now, if women are discussing successful women, I think for women, being married is success.
Yeah.
They see marriage as success. So for a woman, say when you're married, you're successful. A lot of women see it that way. But generally speaking, who is a successful woman? One who is happy, one who is comfortable, either in marriage or without marriage, has a good job, can fend for herself and her family, like I said, either in marriage or without marriage. I think that's what I would say a successful woman is.
Okay, so successful woman. So if I can point out a few of the things you said. One, you can fend for yourself, which means you're financially comfortable.
You have a good job or have a good business. You're running, yeah.
So you have a good job or you have a good business, and you are happy whether you are married or not. Yeah. And what's the other pointer?
I said for most women, they think...
marriage for most women.
Marriage is success. So once a woman gets married, she don't make them.
I think that is also very debatable within our time and also within the scope of this conversation, because I have met women that marriage to them is not part of the success box. It may just be something they want to tick and move on in life. But I know the percentage is small, actually. But comparing them with the data that we have around lots of women that are married, and culturally, it appears that you are true, that a lot of women, that's why when they want to wed, it appears that the woman takes all the activities. Do you think men are scared of marrying successful women?
I know men are not scared of marrying successful women. Because there might be a tiny fraction, right, that won't matter to the rest of the men. But men are not scared of marrying successful women. Men even want to marry successful women.
Have you seen a single man, that went to approach a successful woman and the woman agreed and they got married? Now, let me draw an instance. So there's a big girl. She works in one of the IOCs and she earns 7 figures. In fact, she drives a brand new car, not a Tokumbo car, a brand new SUV car in the range of 50 million to 60 million. And she lives in the best part of town, in the best serviced estate, where she has a duplex there. But you see, the young man that is going after this successful lady is actually driving an average Nigerian used car, not even Tokumbo car. And maybe in his account, once in a while, 100,000 comes in, 200,000 comes in. But the guy is very purposeful. The guy knows what he wants in life. And he has seen this woman and wants to go for this woman. But in live and not agree. Because he will tell himself, if I go now, what would I give? What can I say? She has seen everything. She has been there. She has done that. And she's used to bigger women. So I think that is, for me, that is the fear. Because I have seen a lot of guys admire successful women. I'll be like, go talk to her. I'll be like, no, Zos now. No, I can't go now. I can't go. I have seen such situations. So you think that is not fear?
Yeah, I think what you call liver is what I call wisdom.
Oh, semantics.
Yeah, because I think it was Chinua Achebe that once said in one of his books, that talked about a man who brings ant-infested firewood to his house. Do not be shocked if he has lizards as visitors.
Yeah.
So if you don't want those lizards to come in, then don't bring the ant-infested firewood to your house. So I think it's wisdom on the part of men, because modern day men in Nigeria, talking about Nigeria now, have realized that a woman, or most women, let me not generalize, most women would only respect you if they depend on you. Women folk don't like what I'm saying, and now I'm going to get dragged, but it's what it is. Now,
so what you're saying is women are generally transactional.
yes. So they
women are generally transactional. Solomon did not say that. China said that.
I said it. Now, and as long as a woman can fend for herself, she has no regard for men. In most cases.
Okay, because I wanted to ask if you are emphatic on this.
In most cases. So I give the adage of Chinua Achebe.
If I'm to cut you short, why do you think that happens? Is it because they have dildo to cover up for the other head of man?
No, I'm saying it because it shows. Now in your analysis or your analogy, you gave an example of a woman that earns 7 figures and all of that. We're talking about this era. Our great-grandfathers knew what we didn't know.
Yeah.
And they had an antidote for this. Our ancestors, our great-grandparents, our grandparents, they loved successful women. They loved successful women. But they had a way to put them in check, which we don't see.
How? Because I would give an instance of my grandmother when you're done.
Okay. Maybe that was one of my grandfather. My grandfather had a wife who, for that era, she was very successful. Trader. She was a trader. She was a big trader, big time trader. He kept her in check. And that was how, in the era of our great-grandparents, a lot of men kept their wives in check.
And he was not a successful man.
Well, he was a teacher, a headmaster.
Also, then the headmaster was more like a template for a very successful man. I think it was a successful man versus a successful woman. So I think that was the reason why it could go. Because if you count, I may guess that within your whole village, your father was among the first 2, or your grandfather were among the first 2 headmasters. So he was among the first educated people then. And then education was measured as successful metric. So your grandfather was successful.
What
too.
I say transcends beyond my grandfather. I use that as an example. You see, let me just take us through some history. Because I know women will come and say, this African man has come. They want to, shut down women. They want to muzzle women. They want women to speak out and all of that. If you go back to history, in Europe and the Americas, it wasn't until the 19th century, in fact, it wasn't until World War I that women were allowed to work.
Yeah.
They were kept as housewives.
Yeah.
It was when all the men went to war to fight that the women were allowed to come out and work.
Yeah.
It wasn't until around 1916 that even in France, women were allowed to vote. It wasn't until 1975 that women were allowed to have bank accounts.
But then that was not the beginning of time.
No, I'm saying...
So it was just an era that things
I just
changed.
said the first women liberation movement was recorded at 1858. And the point I'm trying to make now, at the time when women in Europe were fighting to be allowed to work, in Africa, women were working.
So that's the point, because we have Aisha.
Our women were working. Even Obakri, women were working in Obakri. Our occupations were fishing, farming, trading, and hunting. And women were working. So, but you know what our men knew that we don't know these days? Our men also knew that when you have a successful woman as wife, because a woman's character is a woman's character, it doesn't change. Yes, you can drag me if you want. It's what it is.
A woman's character is a woman's character. It doesn't change. Solomon did not say that.
So how did our men keep their successful wives in check? They made sure they had 4 or 5 of them.
We're going to go to that,
yes.
But first, let me create a scenario. So my grandmother, because people will say that, oh, you look too young for that. So my grandmother was the first educated woman in Romokrosi. Yeah, Romokrosi is a town in Obiakpo. And her father then was one of the warriors of the town. But she was the first daughter. And then we had this tradition in our place where the first daughter was not allowed to marry. So you go out and have children and bring them back to the family. So when I'm reading my genealogy today, there is a woman in it. So I'll say, my name is Solomon Wuche, the son of Maxwell Obonda Wuche, the son of Alice Wuche, the son of Wako Wuche. So you see that there is a woman in my genealogy. But my grandmother was very successful and respected. So one could mix two facts that, okay, one reason why she did not get married was because traditionally the father said you can't get married as the first daughter. And then you now have the fact that she was also educated. It was difficult then. So imagine you are the first educated woman in a town. It will be difficult for you to be under an uneducated man. So I want to ask, so is that also a reason when a woman is a lot more educated that it is difficult for her to settle for a less educated man?
No. If in your grandmother's case, it was strictly tradition. It didn't matter whether she was successful or not. She was first daughter. And tradition at that time, in your place, was that the first daughter cannot get married. So it didn't matter if she was successful or not, she was first daughter. And her own father, which was your grandfather, asked her to stay at home. So it had nothing to do with her success, it was about tradition. Now, I'm telling you that even in that era, our men loved working women. Back where I come from, at 4 a.m., the woman wakes up. She boils yam with red oil or pounds yam with soup or whatever because they have to go to work. What was work? The woman is going to the farm. That was work. There were no banks in those days. The one is going to the farm. The husband is either going to the farm with her or is going to the bush to hunt or going to the river to fish. They are all working.
Which is their form of work there. The same way our form of work now is going to the office, going to the studio.
The man never said stay at home. Except when she's heavily pregnant and she's almost due, then she'll stay at home. So the men love their women to work. It didn't matter what he did, whether he was a hunter, a wrestler, a chief, he loved his wife to work. But along the line, something broke in African men. Something broke. Now, why did we decide to keep women at home? Because of people who crossed the river and told us things. And that's because their women in Europe were at home. So they convinced us that our women should be at home. Our women never stayed at home. So I don't buy the excuse that we are scared of successful women. I'm not scared of successful women. We love successful women. But again, I talked about the firewood, right? When you see over time where because of the Beijing conference, because of the equality thing and all of that, and women get to a level where they think because they earn more than the man, or the man doesn't earn at all, that they have reached a level where they disrespect. See, what men want in life is respect.
Yeah.
So if you see it from afar, you want to avoid it. When you see two men talk, if you no go there, that one a bank manager, it's not the fear of our success. It's not bringing ant-infested firewood to your house because you can see ahead and you don't want it. And that's what I think. I mean, of course, there are those few that are genuinely scared, but that's not.
So what you have said is invariably that successful women would not respect their less successful husband.
Let me put it in a better way. A woman will only respect a man. When I say, I'm not talking of 100% now. Let's get it clear. A woman will only respect a man when she's solely dependent on that man for survival.
Is it a woman thing or a human thing? Because generally, humans tend to respect people that have some sort of control over their survival.
You're talking marriage here now.
Yes.
Yes, so that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking marriage here.
So which means if the woman is the one sustaining the man, she would not respect the woman.
In most cases, yes. I mean, I'm not going to paint all men with the same colors. I say in most cases, yes.
So you said something that's very interesting. You said in those days, one way that men used to curtail successful women was to marry more than one wife.
Yes.
Can you go ahead with that? Because I know a lot of women will say you are not just 100% wrong, you are 1000% wrong. So what you're saying is polygamy brings control over successful women and then gives the man respect.
Yes. Listen, no man wants disrespect.
Yes.
No man wants disrespect. And
a man does not like your love, actually. A man wants your respect.
Respect, yes. So
even when he's wrong. So if you're a woman, you should know even when he's wrong. So look for the subtle way to tell him that he's wrong.
So if a man sees a woman and knows this woman will not respect me, he's not going to go near her for the long term.
Okay, because I know a lot of men will not mind for what they are going to get
for the long term, and so that's why I said that plays a big role. Now, my grandfather again, legend, he had 8 wives. 8 wives, yes, and 6 of those 8, you know how he got them?
No,
they were brought to him by his first wife.
Wow, how?
So
why?
How did our great grandparents keep these women in check? When I marry you, you know it's your duty to first respect me and then bring other wives for me. And I must not die. Because if I die, you have to prove traditionally that you did not kill me.
Ooh.
So your job is to make me happy. So between you and the other wives, you have a duty, I must be happy. So even while wives can quarrel, not where I am. I should not get excited because of your anger. I should not get pressured. You have a duty. I must be happy. You take turns in making me happy. And if I die, 5 of you must prove that you're not the cause of my death. You see what our elders did?
Interesting.
That we don't know these days.
Interesting. So there is something similar to that recently. The Oni of Ife, the current Oni of Ife, when he was crowned Oni, he had one wife, Naomi. And then every now and then you hear lots of news. They are having issues. They are doing this. They are doing this. I think he divorced her. And currently, I think he's married to 6 or 7 women. And we have never heard one news of
and like I keep saying, like I keep saying,
and all of that. So it goes to say, are you correct? Because it's beginning to make a lot of sense, or a bit of sense.
I am 98% correct. Because we look at.
So viewers, you have the right to prove China wrong.
Please do. We look at our past and we think, those men did not get sense. They are not as educated as we are. They are not as exposed as we are. Like I just said earlier, you get married and she knows that she brings other wives for you. And on no account should I get so uptight that I die. Because if I die in frustration, you and the rest have to prove you didn't kill me. Traditionally, what's your duty as my wives? To ensure I am happy. To ensure I'm happy. So it doesn't matter how big you are in society. You keep me happy.
They will call you patriarchist.
They were not educated.
They will call you patriarchal.
And that's why I started by giving the example of the Europe we look up to. When they came here, they were everything we think we were, because we had a free society. Our wives are working. Our wives are successful, but they locked up their wives at home. Their wives had to come out on the streets to fight for freedom. Our wives didn't fight for freedom. You never heard about African men going on this, African women in the 18th century or 19th century fighting to come out and work. No, we let them work in their farms. We let them go to the market. European women were locked up at home. So they should have learned from us. But we thought we should learn from them.
So invariably, what you're saying is a lot of the things we call culture today, especially women, are the things we have borrowed from the Western world.
Yes.
Like what? I mean?
Like the so-called women equality. What on earth is that?
So there is nothing called equality?
There is, because they made it something. What on earth is equality?
Or there shouldn't be equality?
If, for example, we are trying to move things from this studio to another studio, the woman will carry the flower vase. The man will carry the big equipment. But they want equality. Why don't they carry big equipment? If you're driving with your wife and your car has a flat tire, your wife sits in the car pressing her phone, you're going to change the tire. Why doesn't she change the tire? But what's equality? See, there's nothing of that nature. It's just something that Europe brought into Africa and we swallowed hook, line, and sinker. I maintain we go back to the old ways.
So going back to the old ways means we are going to ditch our educational system.
Nope.
Because our educational system are fused with lots of Western tenets.
But we don't have to destroy ours. Someone will come out now and say, oh, I thought polygamy was an offense by law. Last time I checked, Oyin has not been arrested.
Yes.
Oba Benin has not been arrested.
Even, what's his name that is on Arise? What's his name?
Ruben
Abati.
Not been arrested yet. So where...
But is polygamy a crime in Nigeria?
By law, yes. So I could marry 4 traditionally and not in court.
Interesting.
So I've not broken any laws.
So Nigeria is a very funny place where we have the court guiding you on some things and we have the tradition. But that's why we have the customary court.
So basically, I think women as a group should look inward. They need to ask themselves. Now, it's not all about what I've said. Sometimes when a woman gets more and more growth in society, that's what it's called. Is it hypergamy? Where they want to pick, they think they should get married to someone that is more successful than they are.
Yeah.
So by the time a woman is a bank manager, she does not see herself dating maybe a janitor or somebody else. So the pool gets smaller for them. But apart from that, women need to look inward. Now, if women say men are scared of their success, is there a reason? Is there really a reason? What's that reason why they think men are scared of their success? Why would I be scared of a woman that has 6 figures in her account or 9 figures in her account? Why would I be scared of that? Except, of course, I'm going to get married to a man where there'll be 2 captains in 1 ship. And this is from where I come from. The man is the head of the home.
I think it's generally the same everywhere.
Yeah, so if I'm going to be in a home where I'm not the head because the person I'm heading does not respect my headship, why would I want to venture in that kind of relationship? So again, the anti-infested firewood. Want to take it home? Can you face the repercussions of lizards? So you leave it outside.
So what do you think these successful women should do to get married? Because the numbers are high. So when you go to high-broad clusters like a big church, a big organization, you tend to see a lot of successful women and they are single women. But a lot of them want to get married. As you noted when you started that success is one of the metrics of a successful woman. A lot of them want to tick that box. So what would be your advice to them? What do they have to do? Because we have a lot of men out there who admire these women, who look at them and say, oh, this is my type of women. But then I notice that when they get close to them after a short while, they are discouraged.
And therein lies my question. What discourages them? I only need to sit to the woman for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. By the way she talks to me, talks to the waiter at the highbrow restaurant, the way she responds in traffic, I already begin to imagine the kind of person she is. So what makes a young man get close to a woman who is successful and decides to back out? He has seen ant-infested firewood. So when women in their meetings, I tease ladies, I say in your gender meetings, if there's anything like that. But again, when you see women post on social media, you know the kind of people they are. When you see women speak on radio, you know the kind of people they are.
Are you not profiling?
We all profile. We all profile. You can't avoid profiling. You just can't avoid it. Because if a person is tending towards a particular way of reasoning, chances are the person actually reasons that way. So I think women should also talk to them. So I'm not saying that they are 100% wrong. I mean, men are 100% right. As I said, I'm not putting all of them under one umbrella. Yeah, but I'm saying in lots of cases, we should begin to ask, why are men scared of us because we have a master's degree or a PhD or because I'm a bank manager? Is it something I'm doing or what I'm not doing? You ask themselves those questions and they know the answers. Attitude is key.
Yeah, attitude is.
Attitude is key. A man can smell attitude from 2 miles. I'm not saying all men behave right. I've not said that.
Because I know a lot of...
Yes.
I don't want to use the word on camera.
Yes.
Men
I know. But I'm saying that you just said something that even when a man is wrong, respect.
Yeah.
You just said that is true. So a man can smell attitude from 2 miles. So attitude is key. And when I see funny things. When I attend weddings, receptions, I see, okay, you can now feed your husband. And the woman puts spoon in the plate and kneels down. And when I ask her that, will she kneel down every night at home?
In fact, because I MC weddings, so I'll be like, do what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Because I know you cannot kneel down. I've been married for 11 years and I can bet you, my wife is an honorable woman and she doesn't even dig well. Because it is not necessarily needed for my kind of person. But there are men that need that. So you should do that for them.
So I'm not going to come here and point out 10 key things women should do to get married when they're successful. I'm saying women should look inward. I just said something. Attitude is key, right? A man can live with what people say is, I don't believe there's an ugly woman, but with what people say is an ugly woman. But he loves her because of respect, because of attitude.
So women, your husband loves you because of respect, not because of your beauty. So you don't get it wrong. Yes, you see, for me, it is respect. Even when I'm wrong, just look for a way. And if you tell me straightforward, you've lost even if I wanted to say sorry, I wouldn't say sorry again because that's really how men are. So generally, we are coming to say that men are not really scared. That is what you have said.
They're not scared.
Men are not scared of successful women. They are just, in your
trying
word,
to avoid ant-infested firewood in their houses.
So they are just careful.
Yes.
Careful of the dangers that comes with success. And you made a point, so I want you to back it up with example. You said women are generally transactional. Can you explain that?
It's simple now. We walk on the streets.
No, give us instances. Give us instances so people will understand. How are women transactional? So they can't love you if you're not doing this for them. They can't do this for you if you're not doing that for them. Is that what you're saying?
Someone posted on social media once, a long time ago. He said, take a 1 month leave. 1 month leave. Don't tell your wife you're on leave. Come back home and say you've lost your job. Sit at home every day pressing your phone. At the second week, you know the kind of wife you married.
Have you tried that?
No.
Has anybody tried that? So you should try it. And
but of course, they're watching too. The women know. But seriously, so when I say transactional, right? A woman will only rest, like I've said it before, right? When you tell the woman come and she comes,
a lot of women will drag you on this. They'll say you are very wrong.
I'm expecting it, and I said it with my full chest out. Look at it, chest out, my full chest out. A lot of women are going to say yes to you because they know that saying no could bring about repercussions they don't want.
And
it's not physical assault.
In what case?
Yes, not physical assault. Because for a lot of women, right, the husband makes all the provision, most of the provision. So that's why in a lot of cases, if you're not like that, then you're not the case I talked about. And they know. So they are transactional and they can't even deny it. They say they are obedient because disobedience will lead to lack. And they don't want that lack.
So are men not also transactional?
Okay, in marriage, I'm talking about marriage now.
Yes.
Let me give you 2 examples. If your daughter, or if you had a sister, I don't know if you have sisters, and your sister comes to your parents and say, look, I'm ready to get married. Who is the man? His name is China Cheru, for example. I'm sure the next question will be, what does he do?
True.
That will be, what does he do? They want to be sure that man can provide for their daughter.
Yeah.
But if a man goes to his family and says, I want to get married to Agnes, where is she from? Blah, blah. They won't ask what she does. Even if they ask, it's not even important. Yes, they go ask what does she do, but it's not important. So a woman can plan a wedding of 20 million without a job, without any money in her bank account. But a man is expected to be the provider of everything. That answers the question.
No, that does not answer the question.
No, the men know that they are providers already.
So they are not transactional.
I don't put words into my mouth.
No, it's a straightforward question. Are men transactional? Because we have come to the conclusion that women are transactional. So for women to give you A,
yes,
they
transactional.
Must get B.
Wait, okay,
so
transactional because a man wants respect in exchange for what he can give you. That's transaction.
So that means it is equal. Men are transactional. Women are transactional.
You find angle to put this thing.
But that's the truth. Men are transactional. So men use their resources to get women to be and do what they want them to do. Then women use their essence to get men to do what they want to do and be what they want to be. So you see that it is now a transactional relationship. So we cannot now accuse women to be transactional.
You are the one accusing, not me.
No, it is what you inferred. From everything you said, you inferred that women are transactional. So that's why I had to bring the point to emphasize that let us also look at the corners of men and know and see if men are transactional or not. Because the truth is, for someone like me who is very sociable and I have close friends that are women and close friends that are men, I can also tell you that both angles are very transactional.
But you know, right? Sorry, I cut you. Maybe you should continue.
Okay. What I wanted to say is, in my dealings, I have discovered that more men are transactional than the women I have met. This is Solomon's context. The people I have met, more men are transactional than the women I have met. Because I have more female friends that I can say, hey, babe, I need XYZ. And we have nothing. They'll just say, okay, I'm doing it for you. And they just do it. But I have men that are my men. I'll say, oh boy, red. I need this. Be like, oh boy, guy. Then the next day you go out, see that guy has just bought another car. Be like, I was asking you for something like this and nothing happened. So from my experience, I think men
you want him to give you his car money.
No, it's just like maybe I needed funds for something related to health, and he had money to buy a car, and I'm like, can you just let me sort this out now? And be like, nothing day. Then the next week you go visit the guy, he has a car. But it is your female friend that you don't have anything with. Just you guys are good friends. And she
like I said, there are no absolutes in this thing. But I'm looking at when you look at percentages, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure a higher percentage of women do this, right? And again, because we're talking marriage, now when it comes to marriage, a man who takes care of his family may not stop taking care of his family because his wife chooses to be unruly. He feels that it's my duty.
Yeah.
He might go outside and spend late nights, but most times a man will still take care of his family. Yeah. But most women can walk out on a marriage the moment they feel they can stand on their own.
Okay, that's another context we're going to take. Let us look at, do you think culturally it has to do with the reason why women, as you claim, are transactional? For example.
But the word transactional was first made by you here. No.
So it is a word that is used to encapsulate the things you have said. So we just have one word to describe it. So my point is culturally, a daughter is being brought up in a house, and the daughter says her dad provide for literally everything, and that is nurture that is being groomed. The dad, she sees the dad pay for the rent or build the house, sort out the mom, sort out the children's school fees, sort out them until they become adults. So mentally and culturally, it becomes ingrained in the girl's mind that it is the place of the man to do all of this.
Which is what it is.
So when she now grows up, in her mind, if I meet a man, I am not the one to pay for this. It is you, because culturally I have seen it being done. It is my father that did everything. So why would I, in my case, be the one to now contribute to doing these things? So don't you think that culturally is the reason why we would say, let me use the word I coined, that women are transactional? It is a cultural nurture thing.
No, either I didn't speak the right English, or I spoke in the dialect of the Korea you don't understand. What I said by transactional is that a woman will only show respect and total respect to a man when she's fully dependent on that man for her livelihood, right? And the fact that a woman is married and has a good job, in most cases, the man still pays the house rent.
Do you think there is a cultural reason, or there are cultural components to the reason why we have a high level of unmarried successful women culturally? Like my grandmother was educated and as a then successful, albeit she was not married, even though it was traditionally for her not to get married. So if you take out the traditional part, do you think, for her, do you think generally now there's a cultural reason why a lot of successful women are not married?
I think that would be a tiny fraction. I know that in some places like you're going to have a Sira tradition.
Okay.
I'm not sure I know too much of the details of the Sira tradition. That's to do with the first daughter not getting married.
Oh.
Yeah. So you see a lot of. One thing I always when I meet an Ogoni lady whose name is Sira, I want to know if she's married.
Oh.
Right. I want to know if she's married. So I know that's a Sira tradition.
I know one Sira, but she's married. In fact, she makes wedding gowns.
Good. So like I said, I know that's an Ogoni Sira tradition. I know even among the Ikore people too, there's a first daughter thing, but in most cases, it's when there's no son in the family.
Okay.
Then the father keeps the first daughter at home. You can have kids; they will bear my name as the father, but you're still unmarried. So you see a lot of you see a few successful Ikore women who are not married,
and sometimes a lot of them are successful. Like my grandmother was very successful.
Exactly. So a lot of times it's cultural and traditional too. So those are just tiny fractions, but I think most of them is what we've talked about all show long, and that's attitude. Let me give you an example. Right, you know a lot of Nigerian men who go abroad and work hard for a living in America, Canada. At the point they will call their parents at home and say, "I need a quiet, obedient woman to marry."
Yeah.
And the mother actually goes to the village and gets them a quiet, obedient woman to marry, who shows so much respect. When that woman's feet steps in the United States or Canadian soil, give her 6 months. She's something else. That's what I've been saying all show long. As long as I am seen as your benefactor, you're going to show respect until the point where you think you can now stand on your own. But life shouldn't be like that. Life shouldn't be like that.
So, coming to the end of this, you are also inferring that women don't really need men if they can't get anything from men. Especially in this time where if you meet a woman that is successful, has a job, has a house, and she can get herself some toys, really, she doesn't need a man.
A lot don't. I would say most. A lot don't. A lot will,
women, is it true that you guys don't need men?
A lot. For a lot of them, it's a symbol. It's a status symbol, like I said. Oh, you never marry. I'm among them. But in most cases, right, as long as they can have their cravings satisfied, so you know what those cravings are. As long as they can have those cravings satisfied, and they really don't.
Well, actually, I have a crazy thought, and I say it loud. I usually tell people, if I was a woman, I wouldn't have gotten married. Maybe I would have fallen into this category.
I know a lot of young men who say they will not get married. If I know a man in Port Harcourt today who says he will never get married. He has 3 kids.
Oh, he's already married.
From 2 different women.
Okay.
And he says he wants
But
to
he
have,
has been married
He has
before.
never been married.
Oh.
Never been. And he says he wants to have a fourth child with a different person. But he will never get married. So, I mean, it's mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, the reason is because I've met a lot of douchebags as men.
Goes both ways.
True. All right, viewers. I am sure you have enjoyed this episode with our very interesting guest, that he has said some things that you guys shouldn't drag him or don't drag me. I didn't say anything. We only pointed to the fact. So we don't know what your opinions are. If women are transactional, or if women don't really need men, or successful women don't really need men. But then, let's hear your comments. Do you think men are scared of successful women? Thank you very much for watching this episode of the PowerCast. Remain blessed. My name is Solomon. Wait a minute.
Well, my name is China Ikwereman Acheru. You can drag me if you want, but not too much.
Thank you very much, guys.